Hey guys, and welcome back to another chess miniature video. Today on the agenda is a fantastic miniature game between woman grandmasters Jennifer Yu, rated 2267 from the USA, and playing with black Tatev Abrahamyan, also from USA, 2327. Both of them, as I said, woman grandmasters. And this game corresponds to the 9th round of the St. Louis USA Championship, which actually was played yesterday, this game. So it's really fresh off the barbecue. So yeah, let's get into it. I think you'll enjoy the game. And today we'll see a fantastic kingside attack. So let's go for it. Jennifer opens with c4. Very talented youngster, Jennifer Yu. I think she's more focused on her studies now. But I do remember meeting her in 2022 in the in the Sochi World Cup, and or it was 2021, I think it was. I remember meeting her there. Very focused, very aggressive, very good player. Abrahamyan plays e6. Also a very strong woman grandmaster, rated 2327. Knight to c3, d5. We've already seen this in a couple of games on the channel. And d4, as you know, is the main move, going for the Queen's Gambit. And I think yesterday or the day before, we saw a game with c takes d5 and d4. In this game, Jennifer goes for a third option, which is e3. This is a favorite of players such as Aronian and others. The idea is to develop with knight f3 and then go for b3 and bishop b2 and leave the pawn on d2 for quite a while, sidestepping some of black's most popular setups. It's a tricky defense, but quite interesting actually. And in some situations, kingside attack can come in the middle game. So black went knight f6, knight to f3, pawn to a6. Normally a6 is played because black wants to put the bishop on d6 and wants to avoid any knight to b5 shenanigans. It's okay. Actually, you can see that white is not going for a center grip with the pawns. White's playing cautiously from behind, so black can take time to make some not so popular pawn moves, just trying to control the position, because white hasn't really got the initiative and it's not an open position, so that's okay. Bishop to d6, bishop to b2, b6. This is a very nice way of developing the bishop. Queen c2. Theory suggests that now the best move is bishop to b7. And I think that's correct, because if we play bishop b7 and we don't castle yet, it's going to be very strange that white launches some sort of kingside attack with the queenside idea, because we haven't castled yet. So I think playing bishop to b7 is the most flexible move. Wait until white commits with long castle or commits with short castle and then decide to castle. Black still has a couple of sensible developing moves, so there wasn't really any need to go for castling so soon. Abrahamyan played castle, and now Jennifer launches her attack. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, and knight to g5. Knight, a very aggressive move, which is actually threatening. Knight takes d5, followed by queen to h7 mate. For example, if black plays something like knight to d7, then knight takes d5, and if black takes on d5, queen to h7 is mate. So knight to g5 is already threatening mate, or at least to win a pawn on d5. Now, if black plays h6, I think that Jennifer would have played h4, keeping up the pressure. For example, pawn takes knight, pawn takes pawn, opening the file, and the only square where black can go is to e4 to stop queen to h7, and here we just capture, and there's a double threat of mate here and also the rook, so I think white is doing very well here. The engine suggests that the best move is bishop to e7, but this is a difficult move to make. True that we are protecting the pawn with the queen, but having played bishop to d6 before, to now go back to e7 is always a very difficult thing to do. Abrahamyan plays g6, and this is not a good move because now after h4 we have a pawn lever on h5. A pawn lever is a way to open up a file by clashing our two pawns on a square which black has allowed to, which is now h5. Also g6 weakens severely the diagonal a1 to h8. So already g6, not such a good move. And now knight to b7 is another in precision, and after h5 black is already in big trouble now, as we shall see in the game. Again, the computer suggests that probably the best move here was to go d4, going for the counterattack. And if pawn takes pawn, we do get in the check, which could give us some counterplay. Now the computer gave me a fantastic line here, which I don't know if Jennifer would have played. I personally think that Jennifer might have played knight to e4 here, as in the game. That's what I think. However, if her form is good and she's in a very enterprising mode, she can play h5 here, sacrificing a whole piece. And the idea is that when bishop drops back to d7, e7 to defend the knight, we capture and we play bishop to c4. And this position is completely winning for white. The threat is rook to h6 and rook to g6, and follow up by long castle and rook to h1. And the pressure is just unsurmountable. It's really huge pressure on the queen side, on the king side. Would Jennifer play that? Not sure. But possibly, because she is a very aggressive player. In any case, Abrahamyan played knight b to d7, h5. Obviously, if knight takes a5, then we sacrifice the rook and we mate on h7. It's a key attacking pattern. So Tatev plays knight to e5, trying to bring some pieces to the defense, and also threatening somehow bishop to f5. But white's attack is already very strong. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, long castle, bishop to f5, and now a very nice move by white, keeping the initiative. Of course, she could have played d3, but she goes e4, opening up lines. More specifically, she wants to open up the line that goes from a2 to g8, and she wants to situate the bishop on that line. So the pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, knight takes knight, bishop to c4 check, intermediate move. Of course, if she takes with the knight, then this is mate. Now we can see how the g6 move weakened severely the castle king. Abrahamyan defended with knight to f7, and now there are several ways to win. So Jennifer played knight takes f7, which is sensible, strong, and winning. However, there's a very nice variation, which Jennifer probably noticed, but she opted to play the safe and sensible way. The nice variation was rook takes h7. And now the threat is to mate on h8. For example, knight takes knight. This is already checkmate. So why didn't she play this move? My only explanation is knight to f6, blocking the diagonal, hitting the rook, and hitting the queen as well. And now there's a lovely variation. Rook h1, bishop takes queen, rook h8 check, can't be captured by the knight because it's pinned, and now rook takes a7. This is the first time in my life I've seen a double rook, double knight, double pin. I think this is a wonderful position, and we'll probably be using this position as the thumbnail for the video. I've never seen this pattern before. I've seen several similar patterns, but not exactly this one. And with a queen sacrifice, it would be a lovely way to finish the game. A pity, because this would have been superb. In any case, knight takes f7 is very nice. Take, and rook takes h7. And now, of course, we're threatening to win the queen, and basically it's game over. So, king e8 is the best chance, with the idea of blocking with the bishop and trying to hold. But Jennifer definitely doesn't want to stop the game here, and she plays queen to c6, strong move, very strong move, because king f8 now loses to check, and the queen is knocked off. And after rook e1, Abrahamyan decided to resign. The threats are rook takes e4 and also f3. Double threat, extra queen, no way of continuing this game. So, I hope you enjoyed the game I brought to you today. Very nice attacking game, some very cool tactical patterns. I think going over this game, you can improve a bit of your opening play if you do play this variation, or put it into your repertoire. But also, more importantly, get to the grips with the idea of playing h5, opening up the file, doubling rooks, taking advantage of a b2 bishop with an h rook, and in general, the way Jennifer Yu flows with the attack and is able to create this masterpiece miniature game which I brought to you today. So, if you enjoyed, please leave a comment below, give me a like if you appreciate that, and please subscribe. I'm trying to increase the subscriber base of the channel so it becomes one of your go-to video sections every day or every 2 days whenever I can post videos. Have fun!